Welcome back to my channel. This is a for sale by owner masterclass. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do to take one for sale by owner listing per week. I'm gonna take you through the script, obviously, because to take a listing a week from a for sale by owner, you're gonna have to call them or door knock them, and you need to know what to say. So I'm gonna take you through the script, then the pre-qualifying script. I'm gonna take you through it question by question, because that is a requirement for you to be well prepared for your listing presentation. And then I'm going to actually tell you what to do when you show up at this listing appointment. So let's go ahead and get started. The for sale by owner script, my script is very simple. It's short, it's to the point, and it works. I can assure you that if you use my script, you're going to set appointments, not previews. That's useless. It's a waste of your time. We're talking about setting appointments. Now, we know that for sale by owners are selling on their own because they want to save the real estate commission. So you're going to see that's what my script is focused on. So they answer the phone. Hello. Hello, this is Jackie. I'm a local real estate agent. I noticed that you have your house for sale. It looks like you're selling it yourself, right? I decided to give you a quick call today because I work with buyers and sellers here in the area, and I'm just calling to see how things are working out for you. Doesn't matter what they say. Mr. Seller, I'm just curious, is saving the real estate commission one of the main reasons why you decided to sell it yourself instead of using an agent? We know the answer. 99.9% of them, the answer is yeah, of course. If I can show you a way where by working with me, you would actually end up netting more money from the sale of your home than if you were to sell it yourself, is that something that you'd be interested in looking at? What could they say here? Logically, the answer is looking at. Sure, I'm interested in looking at. You're not saying, will you list with me? No, you're just, if I can actually do this for you. Now, obviously, they can give you some objections, right? There are a lot of videos on my YouTube channel on handling for sale by owner objections, where I tell you exactly what to say depending on what objection they give you. So after you watch this video, if you're wondering, oh, what do I say if they say this or that? Well, go look for those videos. But it's very possible also, if you say this correctly, that they might say, sure, I can look at it. Great. What would be a good time for me to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes? I have an opening today around 3 o'clock, or would 4 be better for you? That's the close. That's it. That's the whole script. Now, realize what I said in the beginning. This script is focused on the value for them. Value in terms of how can you more than make up for the commission that you charge. So your commission is actually hiring you is going to make him money, not cost him money. Okay, we'll talk more about this a little bit later when we cover the listing presentation. So now they agree to meet with you today at 4 o'clock. Hey, you have to pre-qualify this appointment on the same call. You stay on the phone right here, right now. Great, I look forward to seeing you today at 4 o'clock. And Mr. Seller, so I can be better prepared for our meeting, tell me, when we sell your home, where will you be moving to? We're going to ask questions about their motivation, which is where, when, and why. So they say, well, I'll be moving to Dallas. Excellent. So what would the ideal time frame be for you to get there? I also like asking, it's a little bit of a different way, just saying, in an ideal real estate world, Mr. Seller, use their name, when would you like to be in Dallas? So assuming they say, well, I want to get there by the end of May. I mean, they could answer in different ways. I'm taking you through the basic script here, right? So Oh, and the May. Excellent. So, Mr. Seller, what's important to you about getting to Dallas by the end of May? Where, when, and why? What's important to you is the why. Now you're going to ask them, Mr. Seller, are you planning on interviewing any other agents for the job of selling your house? So I like to speak with down swings, which means your tonality goes down at the end of the sentences because it gives you authority. This is one of the very few questions on any script where using an upswing would actually be helpful. When I said it to you a minute ago, I had a downswing, or kind of like a neutral to a downswing. An upswing here would sound like, Mr. Seller, are you planning on interviewing any other agents for the job of selling your house? Notice how it causes the listener to like doubt. That's probably not a good idea. I don't think I'm going to do that. That's what an upswing does. So you want to be very careful to only use an upswing when you're sure that you want them to doubt what you're asking, which again is very seldom. So always err on the side of a downswing. The next question is on your prequel script. And so, Mr. Seller, what specifically are you looking for in the agent that you will hire? You want to know the answer, whether if they're interviewing other agents, maybe not. Maybe you're the first one they're giving an appointment to. So if they're interviewing other agents, you definitely want to ask them, and just curious, Mr. Seller, who are the agents that you'll be speaking with? You want to ask that question, okay? Because you want to, this would be another video. I'm not going to talk about this right now, but you want to do a little bit of research on that agent or the agents that the seller is interviewing, so you can be prepared in case at the end of the meeting they say something about, well, I still want to talk to those agents. And there's also the question about, should I go first, go last? I'm actually going to do another video where I'm going to talk about that, but not right now. So what specifically are you looking for in the agent that you'll hire? This is a great question. It's one of my favorite questions because they're going to tell you exactly how to earn their business. If they tell you, I'm looking for A, B, and C, guess what? You show up and you give them A, B, C, and that's it. You should take this listing. So this helps you be well prepared. And then you ask this question. So, Mr. Seller, when we meet, what price are you thinking that you would like to list the property for? Now, you already know what they're asking as a FSBO. Why should you ask? Because you want to know. What are they thinking? Are they thinking, could they potentially tell you a lower price than what they're asking? They could. Yes, it's possible. Could they tell you a higher price and say, well, see, if we're going to pay a commission, we're going to have to raise the price? You just want to know. The purpose here is to gather information. It's not to handle the objection. You're not going to do anything with that right now. You're just going to say, okay, completely understand. Mr. Seller, I'm just curious. And obviously, I am confident that this wouldn't happen if you and I are working together. And at the same time, what would happen if your house doesn't sell? You want to know what their plan B is. How much do you owe on the property? So, Mr. Seller, how much do you owe on the property? Mortgage? Do you have any second mortgages or any liens that will need to be paid at closing? You need to know this because you want to make sure they have equity to actually sell. And then I already said that what specifically you're looking for in an agent is one of my favorite questions. Well, here's my favorite question of all time. And Mr. Seller, at the end of our meeting, if you are absolutely confident that listing with me is the best financial decision you can make, will you be ready to go ahead and do it? It's a hypothetical question. If you are absolutely, listen to the power in the words in this question. If you are absolutely confident that working with me is the best financial decision you can make, only if you are. If you're not, obviously not, but if you are, will you be ready to do it? And anyone with common sense, when you say this confidently, is likely to say, well, I guess I'll consider. They may say, we'll see when you get here. If they say we'll see when you get here, you're going to have to ask some additional questions to dig and find out. You could go back to what specifically they're looking for. If I can show you how, Mr. Seller, you said you're looking for ABC. If at the end of our meeting you can clearly see that I am able to produce the ABC results, you got to word it correctly, in that case, and you're confident that you'll be able to net more money ultimately from the sale by working with me, in that case, would you consider? So you got to go around and dig so you're confident by the time you end this pre-qualifying that you can show up and take this listing. And then the last question is, and Mr. Seller, is there anyone else that is part of the decision or owns the property with you that will need to be present at our meeting? Oh yeah, my spouse, my partner, whatever. Great. Will they be there today at 4 o'clock? Yeah, they'll be here. Excellent. I look forward to seeing you today at 4 o'clock, Mr. Seller, and I am confident that when we meet, you will clearly see why we should be working together. I'll see you at 4. That's your pre-qualifying script, okay? Now, you show up to this listing presentation. There are 4 parts to a for sale by owner listing presentation. Part 1 is you're gonna show up and you're gonna introduce yourself. Mrs. Seller, Jackie, I spoke with you early this morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity to meet with you. I'm excited to work with you in getting this property sold. So that's part 1, introduction and confirming their motivation. They told you they're moving to Dallas and they want to be there by the end of May because they're moving close to family. Okay, great. So you can say, Mr. Seller, I'm excited to work with you in the sale of your home and get this property sold for you so you can be in Dallas with your family by the end of May. That sounds great, doesn't it? Okay, so just confirming motivation. Part 2 of your listing presentation is, remember, you got an appointment because you said if I can show you how I can net you more money. Now it's time to deliver. So I call this the how to net FSBOs more money presentation. Now, there is a video on my YouTube channel. It's a listing presentation live where I actually role play this presentation on how you net more money. There are other videos on my channel, so you can actually watch them, listen to it over and over so you can learn this presentation, because here's what you need to understand. If you're not able to net a for sale by owner more money than they would selling it themselves, you shouldn't take this listing. Why would they hire you? Why would they list with you if you're not able to do anything different than what they can do on their own? And the truth is that as a knowledgeable, professional, experienced real estate agent, even if you're brand new, you have all the resources. You may not have the knowledge in your head because you're new to real estate, but you have resources. You can get and find all the information and all the help that you need. So you need to be able to show them the value, how listing with you is going to be an investment for them and not an expense. An investment is when you put money into something and it makes you money, it doesn't cost you money. You're going to do that. That's part 2. And intertwined with this how you net more money presentation is your marketing plan, which is what are you going to do to sell their home? Again, there are videos about it. I'm not taking you through it here. I just want you to understand what you're going to be doing when you get there. The marketing plan is what you do to maximize the demand on their property. That's the most important thing, because we know that more demand equals more money no matter what they're selling. And that's part of, it's not the only reason, not the only thing you do to net more money, meaning maximizing the demand, but it's definitely part of it. So when you're talking about that, you fit in your marketing plan, all of the things you're gonna do to maximize the demand. So they go hand in hand here in part 2. Part 3 is the CMA and helping them understand the price. Do not discuss price with a for sale by owner before they understand why they need you to sell this home for the most money possible, meaning part 2, the netting them more money. Do not discuss price, because if you do, typically they're overpriced. So if you start talking about price and they don't see any reason to list with you, you could see how that's going to be a problem. Including, do not discuss price over the phone. Can you get me this amount of money? That's an objection on the phone. I told you to go find the videos on handling FSBO objections. Do not get into a price conversation until you get to part 3 of your listing presentation. Now it's time to help them understand the comparables, the recent sales, the market conditions, and what the highest price is that their property will sell for in today's market. And then the last part is ask them to sign the listing agreement. You agree on a price, the listing agreement, you bring it with you. It's completely filled out. You should take it out of your briefcase before you start the presentation. So it's sitting in front of the seller with a pen on top of it. So when you agree on a price, it's completely filled out. The only thing blank is the price. You fill in the price, you write it in, you take him through. Mr. Seller, here's your name, your property address, the price, the commission, and I need your signature right here. Okay, you don't read every word of the you just take him through the main points and you ask him to sign. That's it. It's as easy as that. If you do what I say, you can make it happen. One FSBO listing a week. Put your comments and questions below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the bell next to the subscribe button. We're uploading new videos every week, and you'll be notified when that happens. And I will see you soon.